Now, to bring back to the LSAT for a moment, it seems that it's tougher than these other exams in a lot of ways. And for that reason, we like it more and think it's a better indicator of what law school is like and what work as a lawyer may be like. Now, it does test some aptitude, but it's also learnable to some extent. What do you think? What do
Yeah.
you think about that?
Folks who aren't taking the LSAT within the next few months, one of the things that I recommend that they do is consider, most universities have this, a freshman level intro to philosophy class called reasoning and critical thinking, or some such. I think that's the closest thing to an academic class that is LSAT prep as you're going to find. And if I tell folks, figure out what book they're using in that class. Go to the library and pick any book within 6 feet of it that looks interesting to you. I think it is actually very learnable. A lot of this stuff. It's funny. It's learnable. There's no thing that you learn like organic chemistry, but there are things that you learn how to do. So another thing I like to say, it's a know how rather than a know that test. The LSAT is. It's very can you do this rather than what do you know. And I think those skills are skills that you can pick up, you can learn pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely. And taking only a single class or even just reading the books on the side certainly wouldn't constitute much, if any, hit to one's GPA if it ended up being more than they bargained for.
Right. Absolutely.
Is there a particular book in that category that you like to recommend, or just anything in that category you think is pretty decent?
It's been a long time since I had to teach a class in that stuff, but and I don't even know if this book is still in print. But a book that I really liked back in the day, it was by a guy named John Nolt, called "Informal Logic: Possible Worlds in Imagination." And when I think about logical reasoning myself, a lot of the framework from that book is what I use in my heuristics, et cetera, for explaining what a counterexample is, et cetera, how to strengthen an inference. I thought that book was very, very helpful in that regard.
No, thanks for that. I'll look it up and include a link to it in the description for this episode. I'm sure that there are some used copies floating around there online.
And I'm sure there are probably 20 or 30 just like it out there now. I mean, there is that is something of a cottage industry, cranking out these informal logic textbooks. They tend to be among the most popular philosophy classes out there, I think. So yeah, I'm sure there are lots of them that are just as good.
Yeah, there's one I really like called A Rule Book for Arguments by Anthony Weston.
Right. I've seen that one too.
It's kind of like Elements of Style by Strunk and White, but for logic. Like, it's like only like 110 pages, something like that. Really just boils logical fallacies down to their essence and kind of walks you through the basics. But yeah, there's so many like that. They're kind of addictive, because it's kind of like you get this little book and you just kind of know everything.
Right. And people say, which one's the best? And I say, well, the one that you like to read is the best one. I mean, a lot of them are going to give you the same information, just packaged in different ways. And, the one that's easiest for you to work with, I think is the best one.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.